Hello, this is Professor Mike Bernanke, University of Detroit Mercy. In this podcast today on the 9th of September 2015 is going to be on the summer movies. Summer movie season is a 4-month season, 4 months plus. It starts May 1 and it ends Labor Day. This year Labor Day was late, so a few more days. It was supposed to be a $5 billion summer movie, domestic. Didn't quite make that at all. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at it, the films grossed $4.48 billion in U.S. and Canada this summer, up 10% from last year, where the record was. From last year. Summer 13 has the record at $4.75 billion. It's a strange configuration of movies. And first, I want movie fans to understand that increasingly this is an industry that depends on foreign box office. If we go back to 2005, about 62% of the total revenue came from foreign box. This year, it's going to be over 70%. So we better be making movies that the world wants to watch, or it's not going to go so well. A yearly box office about $10.5 billion to $11 billion, domestically speaking. And the summer contributes, as you know, as I say, close to $5 billion. So how did this summer go anyway? Well, it was a strange summer because what happened was on top was a big tentpole movie. It pulled the industry, Jurassic World. Jurassic World domestically did $640 million. Wow. Total box office was about $1 billion. Avengers 2 did about $1 billion, by the way, which was the second biggest domestic movie of the summer, but it scored well abroad too. You can generally look if a movie's doing 2/3 of its box office abroad, it's doing what it should do. Jurassic World, Avengers 2, ever hear those names before? Of course. These are sequels, and Hollywood invests in sequels because they're kind of a sure thing. Third biggest movie this summer was Inside Out. I did see Inside Out. It was an imaginative kids movie about how emotions go, and I loved it because kids can see it, adults can see it, and you can even learn from it. And it didn't do as well as it should have abroad. Only 51% of the box office was foreign, and I think because maybe it wasn't well understood. It's animated and there was humor, and humor doesn't always translate well across the globe, across the continent. It just doesn't at all. Minions was the fourth biggest movie of the summer. I had some grandkids tell me or take me to see Minions. It was a 91-minute movie. You know what? I think it should have been a 31-minute movie. It was an hour too long, as a matter of fact. You get a minion here, a minion there, and you're full of them, as a matter of fact. Pitch Perfect 2 was number 5 on the hit parade, which was a movie that really was meant to attract women more so than men. So those are the top 5. Ant-Man was a Buena Vista, another superhero movie, was 6. And I'm going to kind of stop there, although Mission Impossible, I lied to you, was the 7th movie, Mission Impossible 6. And you see the repeat theme time and time again. Hollywood doesn't do a lot of new stuff, doesn't do a lot of originals these days. Inside Out, the one I mentioned, was original and really went very, very well. If you take a look at the summer box office being the big contributor to the year, there's only 2 major seasons in the movie industry. The 4-month summer box office and a 2-month holiday box office. By the way, coming this holiday season is going to be Bond number. You ready for this one? 24! 24, my goodness. And then, of course, the mega Star Wars. Star Wars is already being promoted by its merchandise. Amazing. Has a chance to do well in Halloween, too. So the movie industry this summer had the tentpole big tentpole, Jurassic World on top. Yet once it did that, Avengers domestically did 460 million, and by the time you get down to the fifth one, Pitch Perfect 2, which I mentioned to you, wasn't even 190 million. Last year, there were a number of movies, I think 9 in total, that did 190 million. So we had the big sucker, and then the other ones just didn't score so well. A lot of repeat stuff. Fantastic Four fell flat on its face. 8% Rotten Tomatoes, an audience, 8% looked at this movie. Definitely didn't what it was expected to do. And the last issue I want to bring to your attention is production budget. Sequels usually have big production budgets. Rarely are there movies that have small production budgets, except that they're originals. You know, like maybe if they come out of nowhere. Oh, guess what? Straight Outta Nowhere. Straight Outta is exactly a movie that succeeded. It had a small production budget, 28 million, a domestic box office of 121 million, no foreign box office at all, and it became kind of a popular in movie to see, and people saying Straight Outta, Straight Outta. Interesting summer, not the summer it could have been, but all in all, it still generated box office. Why? Because we like to go to movies during the summer. That's why. Mike Bernanke from the University of Detroit Mercy saying, see you next podcast. Hello, this is Professor